The Great Migration was sparked by Jim Crow segregation laws in the South and the start of World War I. During World War I, foreign workers were no longer allowed to immigrate into America, so the factories in the North needed a new labor source. Hundreds of thousands of blacks migrated during this time for better opportunities and to escape Jim Crow laws in the South. With this transition came the Harlem Renaissance, which was an African American cultural revolution in the 1920s.
Look! What? It's New York! It's New York!
The Harlem Renaissance, also known as the New Negro Movement, originated in Harlem, New York in the early 20th century. It is one of the most important periods of cultural and artistic growth in U.S. history. The two leaders of the movement, Allen Locke and Charles Johnson, provided incentives for black artists like Langston Hughes and Zora Hurston to come to Harlem and create new and exciting works in literature, art, and music. Locke and Johnson felt that public opinion about African Americans could change if they made contributions to the American culture. The Sugarcane Club was a cabaret at the edge of Harlem's poor neighborhoods at 135th Street and 5th Avenue, where African American jazz performers mingled with the white and African American patrons. While not as upscale as the segregated Cotton Club, which caters specifically to all white, black performers such as Duke Ellington, Bessie Smith, Louis Armstrong, and Ethel Waters performed there before they were famous. Scholar Stephen Watson described it perfectly as three rudimentary three-piece band accompanied a torch singer under bright white lights singing, "I'm busy and you can't come in." As the lights revolved from blue to red, dancers filled the tiny floor.
Now, Louis Armstrong.
Play that, Luke.
The only great music didn't come from Louis Armstrong. There were singers like Ella Fitzgerald. One time I saw Ella Fitzgerald. My, she blew me away.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich, and your mom is good looking.
Don't get me wrong, the music was great, but there were influential writers in that time. Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston. Oh, Zora Neale Hurston? Her essay, How Feels to Be Colored Me, embodied the black experience in America. It was amazing.
During this period, white people differed from color to me only in that they rode through town and never lived there. They liked to hear me speak pieces and sing and wanted to see me dance the parse-me la, and gave me generously of their small silver for doing these things, which seemed strange to me, for I wanted them to do so much that I needed bribing to stop, only they didn't know it. The colored people gave no dimes. They deplored any joyful tendencies in me, but I was their Zora nevertheless. I belonged to them, to the nearby hotels, to the county, everybody's Zora. But I am not tragically colored. There is no great sorrow dammed up in my soul, nor lurking behind my eyes. I do not mind at all. I do not belong to the sobbing school of Negrohood who hold that nature somehow has given them a low-down, dirty deal and whose feelings are all but about it. Even in the helter-skelter skirmish that is my life, I have seen that the world is to the strong regardless of a little pigmentation more or less. No, I do not weep at the world. I am too busy sharpening my oyster knife.
Those clubs, they were talented. One of the biggest things to come out of the Harlem Renaissance was different inventions by black inventors, one of them being the invention of blood banks by Dr. Charles Drew. Sadly, the Harlem Renaissance did come to an end. Due to the effects of the Great Depression, many of the artists and writers had to close their shops and shut down their magazines in order to work to maintain their families. It sure was a movement.